Absolutely. And so let's kind of segue into, what's happening right now in California. California broke the mold and said, look, you can't keep these kids on the plantation. No more. We're breaking the mold. Pay them. It's almost like that Boondocks episode. Pay me what you owe, right? So, and the governor made it clear, and he did it really in a cool way. For those who can't stand LeBron, you got to give the man credit. He said, "Look, I'm gonna bring the governor on, and he's gonna sign the bill on my show."
This is the number one reason why we've created this platform, to be able to have moments like this where we got the governor of California signing a bill to allow athletes in college.
Let's do it, man. All right.
This country we all live in was built on the principle of capitalism. I mean, capitalism meaning if you're good, if you do work, you should be compensated.
If you're very good, you should be compensated.
And the better you are, the more compensated you are. But Caitlin, obviously you were a student who produced an amazing piece of content. And you became a sensation, a viral sensation, and saw that video go and go and go, and now you've graduated. What was that feeling seeing that happen and you couldn't get?
I mean, here's the fame, but then there's no compensation. It's so crazy. Like, people are like, oh, you must be so rich. And I'm like, you must not know the NCAA, right? Like,
You never heard of the NCAA, obviously.
But no one pays attention to that. Like, no one understands it. So when my routine went viral, Mark Emmert called me to congratulate me. I'm like, you should be thanking me. You know what I'm saying?
You also got a call from Mark Emmert. I don't think he was congratulating you. What was your call?
He's trying to make sure I don't use this pen tonight. That's what he's trying to do. I mean, look, they're a little panicked because they recognize they're vulnerable. People are hitting this, not just in California, but all across the country because the gig's up. Billions and billions of dollars, $14+ billion goes to these universities, goes to these colleges, $1 billion+ revenue to the NCAA themselves, and the actual product, the folks that are putting their lives on the line, putting everything on the line, are getting nothing. You can only imagine how they're responding to this notion of name, image, likeness, and the opportunity now to do what every other student in the university can legally do. And it's the interesting fact, LeBron, the only people that sign away their right, only group that signs with that are athletes.
You're challenging a system that's been entrenched in money and power, in a certain way of thinking for a long time, which I think can resonate with a lot of people in this room. So the minute you challenge that, you're going to get a lot of blowback. And I had this conversation with Coach Rama. He was like, well, if you didn't go to UConn, no one would know who you are. And I'm just like,
he said that to you?
I'm like, this guy, at dinner. But then a couple months ago, I had a good friend on campus. She goes to the student union, takes a picture. What are they having hanging up there? Number 3 jersey, number 10 jersey, Sue, 50, Lobo. I graduated in 2004. I mean, we're talking about 10 years later and they're still making money off of us, which I'm sure would upset you even more.
Yeah, absolutely, and that was the big thing. I had moved on, and they were still making money off of my likeness. I enjoyed being on a video game, but they didn't ask me for it. And my friend who I was visiting at the time, he was like, we paid X amount of dollars for this, and you didn't get a penny.
Sitting in my seat, I believe that it's a beginning of an educational process for the athlete if they're able to benefit from their image and likeness, because they get to the highest level and they're uneducated on the business of themselves as an individual. If they're able to attain some type of compensation, it helps them understand the business aspect of it there. So then when they get to the NBA level of things, it actually my job even easier.
You know, I always tell you part of the reason why I went to the NBA is to get my mom out of the situation that she was in. I couldn't have done that if I would have stepped on a college campus. You know, could it have happened a year after that? I don't know. You never know what happens in that year. But I couldn't imagine, Mav, just, you know, going to a campus and doing the things that I know I would have been capable of doing there. I mean, and selling out that arena. And
I think if you got paid, I think you would have went to play college basketball.
It would have been fun.
So. Governor, as you've been now getting ready to sign this bill, who's been the biggest opposition? Have you had NCAA? Have you had school presidents, boosters?
School presidents.
Who's been calling you? Tell us who's been calling you.
This isn't. They don't even. They don't even outsource the phone calls.
What are they saying? What
the hell are you doing destroying college sports? Why are you going to destroy women? And they all think this is the end of Title IX. They're saying you're destroying the purity of amateurism. Not once did they talk about the needs of these kids.
Will they even listen to you? Will they listen to the other
They're
side?
going after I sign this.
And,
Because that's the whole damn point. It's the power arrangement. The minute we sign this, all of a sudden, now they have to deal with California.
So do you think the NCAA will actually do this? Are you ready to?
I don't want to say this is checkmate, but this is a major problem for the NCAA.
You obviously brought the
Well, I gotta
bill here
sign
with you
this, man.
today. When you put pen to paper right now, what's this going to change and what's it going to do?
It's going to initiate dozens of other states to introduce similar legislation, and it's going to change college sports for the better by having now the interests, finally, of the athletes on par with the interests of the institutions. Now we're rebalancing that power arrangement.
All right, well, let's do it.
Are you ready? Let's do it, man. All right. Now law in California, man.
Wait, this is the number one reason why we've created this platform. To be able to have moments like this where we got the governor of California signing a bill to allow athletes in college. Yeah, let me see what that thing look like. Y'all see that? We got
the
you see that
people.
right there? That's Gov's signature right there.
California's jumped on. PA is getting ready to introduce something. The rumor is out. Penn
South
Live just
Carolina, New
reported.
York.
Exactly. I mean, the list goes
It's
on.
at least 12 now.
They're forcing the NCAA because the NCAA came back and was like, "Look, we may have to just suspend all California schools from the NCAA," and everybody was like, "Yeah, but you're not going to be able to do that to about another 18 states." And so.
They actually asked for more time. They said, we understand that our model is
Yeah.
a little outdated and we're going to make some adjustments. And everyone is just saying, well, the NCAA was founded in 1906.
Right.
It's 2019, so you had 113
To make
years to
adjustments.
figure it out.
And here's the thing, you know what that translated to me as? Oh, you know what? We're gonna give you a food budget. We promise.
They already did that.
Yeah, like, you know what I
They
mean?
did that.
Like, come
They
on.
gave
And
up
so
the food.
stop. And so now we're in this space to Desiree's point, to Will's point. Financial literacy is now becoming a mandate in PA, right? We're seeing it. It's now going to be instituted. But even as we prepare our athlete class and just our youth in general for this new reality where college is now really a business decision, now more than ever.
Big time.
And so are our children ready to go to the boardroom of college as opposed to the ball court of college?
I think you using the term plantation is very, very appropriate. You know, what we're dealing with here is an elimination of the term of student athlete as it has come to be understood for the past 65 years. In 1955, was a football player. He was an Army veteran. He had 3 kids, and he played in a football game, and it was a kickoff, the opening kickoff. He went down, he made the tackle, and the knee of the ball carrier hit him on his head and crushed the base of his skull, and he died within 30 hours. His wife sued, and the NCAA, at the time, the commissioner of the NCAA was Mr. Walter Byers. He was the commissioner from 1951 to 1988. He built the modern NCAA. Walter Byers came up with the concept of student athlete to eliminate the very possibility that they would have to pay workman's comp and pay from people getting hurt working for the universities. And that's where the concept of student athlete originated from. So here we are the other day in LeBron's shop. The governor challenged everything that's associated with that concept. And and that commissioner, he retired in 1988. In 1994, he wrote a book, and he said that it was time. This is 1994. The man who put it all together said it's time to pay these kids. That we have in place right now a neo-plantation mindset among university presidents, athletic directors, and coaches. And it's time to get rid of it. It's outdated. This is the commission. And they just ignored him. You never really heard about it. He's old, he's crazy, he's bitter. He was, what you had was a man in his 70s facing, mortality, worried about his legacy, and he just, I'm going to tell you the truth. This is what we did. And it's not right, and this is how my position
Now it's
for the
time to
rest
fix
of my
it.
life. But that was 94. So it's 2019, and we've got California stepping out. And what California has done and it was very shrewd, and you must give LeBron, Maverick, and Rich Paul and those guys credit, because what they understand is the power of markets. So by doing this, even just floating the idea that 3 years later California was going to change, it gave every school in California a tremendous advantage in the recruiting process. So these California, USC, Stanford, UCLA can go into Mississippi, Texas, Louisiana and say, look, son, you come play for us. We know some car dealers that are looking for guys that want to do commercials. So immediately, South Carolina says, yo, wait a minute. We need to have that law too. Florida, we need to have that law too. Pennsylvania, we need to have that law too. New York, there's so far 12 have been submitted. Ohio State is so worried about it. One of their alums is in Congress. He said, you know what, we need a federal law.
Right.
Let's just do away with all of it.
Blanket right from the beginning.
Because LeBron, Rich Paul, Maverick understood that. That by just getting California to do it, it became inevitable. There's no way that the major supporters of Texas, Texas A&M, LSU, Mississippi, are going to sit around and allow schools like USC and UCLA to offer something that they can't offer to attract us.
Absolutely.
I mean, 56% of the basketball players at the Division I level are black. 49% of the football players are black. And we're talking about us. If you're watching the highest level of football in the SEC, you may not see a white player on defense in most games. Alabama, LSU, you just don't exist.
They don't.
You might have a center. You may have a quarterback. Quarterbacks are increasingly maybe
It's going down.
extinct. They're in danger. You know. So what we're talking about here is a situation where roughly 60% of black folk are like, we need to been paying these boys. We should have been paying them. They should get paid. They generate over $14 billion a year in revenues. Let them get a piece. Around 31% of whites agree with that statement. You know, they just know they get an education and that's enough, and they don't need to get paid. But I think we have broken through. It's inevitable, and it won't take 3 years. That federal legislation will come about 12, 24 months tops. Guys in college right now, freshmen, sophomores maybe, will benefit from this eventually. That would be my prediction.
Wow. That's major.
It's
I sure wish somebody was fighting for our behalf when I was in college.
and think
I needed that.
It's major, and LeBron broke the story. We talked about this
On
before
his
the show.
platform.
On his platform,
His way.
and he can distribute it through HBO and through the internet. And now everybody's just had to run behind him and say, well, on LeBron's show. I mean, the athlete-controlled media is a thing that's very real, and it's not going anywhere.